What we are going to do next is to visualize this assembly graph. So to do that, we will have to open Bandage and then load this file into it. So I'll open Bandage. So I will say Bandage. And then I'll execute this command. Okay, Bandage has been opened. Let's enlarge it. At the moment, we have not loaded any file, so that is why this place is blank. So let's load our assembly graph. So on the left side, come to File, click it, and then click on Load Graph. And then select your assembly graph. So locate where it is and then select it. So mine is here. So I'll open it. So because of the size, it will take some time before it loads the file. Okay, Bandage has loaded the file, so we can now visualize it. So to finally generate the visualization, we have to come to this side, draw graph, and then click it. So click it. So once you do that, Bandage will open it. Again, because of the file size, it will take some time before Bandage opens it. So let's wait for some time and then Bandage will open it for us. Okay, so Bandage has successfully opened the assembly graph. So we have the assembly graph here. So we have the context being displayed for us. So let's take a look at the tutorial page. So let's check. So we need to inspect the image that we have generated. So let's just check. And we have some questions here as well. Okay. So these questions here, we have the answers, but you can confirm by also obtaining the information that has been given here. So let's go back first to generate that information. Let's take a look at what you have. So here, just come to the left side here and you see more info. But before that, you can always scroll up and down to check the context. So we have the context. Some are connected, some are not connected. All these are contexts. Okay. So let's click on the more info and then use that to compare the answers that have been given on the Gallery tutorial page. So click more info and you have this. So this is what was extracted using this instruction here. So we have some questions here and we have the answers. So let's just compare. So it says how many nodes are in the graph for this sample and this sample? What does they correspond to? Of course, we are using this sample, so we will answer this one. So the answer is what? 228,719 nodes for this sample. Let's compare with what we have. So this is what we have. So for the nodes, we have 287,491. Let's just compare them side by side. Yeah, okay. This should be better so we can compare. So we have the answer here, which is 228,719 nodes, but here we have 287,491. How many edges are in the graph? For the edges, here it says 16,580 edges for this sample. So we have ours here. This is the count. It's different. By the way, we also have another question here. How many connected components are there for this sample? So for connected component, the answer here is 212598. You can get that also here. So we have that here, connected components. This is it. Here we have 192.849. And the other question, it says, what does the connected components correspond to? It's still for question 3. So it says the connected components correspond to the number of regions of the graph which are disconnected from each other. So that's what we have. Now let's take a look at question 4. It says, what is the percentage of dead ends for this sample? And the answer is what? 94.0702%. We can get the answer here. So we have that here. It says percentage dead ends. We have 70.71%. This is for our sample. That's what we have. Another question, what are the smallest and largest edge overlaps? The answer here is 91 BP, i.e. the Kima length. We have that here. So we can check that here. That's the edge overlaps. That's what we have. And then we also have question 6, which says, what is the largest component and for which sample? So the largest component is 340,003 BP. So how can we get that? Let's check here. So we have that here. This is it. This is the number. Ours is also different. Some of the values here are different from what is here. And we also have another question. It says, what is the shortest node? What does they correspond to? So here, the shortest node is 200 BP, but here it's 92 BP. So there are differences. So if you compare the answers here to what we have, some of the values are different. This could be due to a number of factors. So there are a number of factors that could lead to the differences in the results. And nevertheless, what we've done was to follow the best practices to get our data. So hopefully, if you follow these steps, then you should be able to get results that are good and reproducible. But for now, I wouldn't be worried much with the differences in the result, because obviously we are using different platforms. So what you may want to do is to run this tutorial on the Glassy platform and see if you get the same result as what has been given here. Then you can just have a discussion on that. Alternatively, you can also probe further to see why there are differences, but that is beyond the scope of this tutorial, by the way. I'm going to do that myself to see why there are differences. I'll try that, and then if there's any updates, I'll let you know. But for now, this is what we have, so we can continue.